friends, happy Thursday. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. I hope you have been getting your schoolwork done. We only have a couple weeks left and we're almost finished with this week. It's unbelievable. I really can't imagine that this year is almost over. Today you're going to get your water review slides. You're going to click to day 2, and we're going to go through those slides, and then you're going to do some STEM Scopes work. And remember, I told you the other day, you might have seen some of these videos or even activities before, but it's been so long and you've learned so much more since then that I thought it would be really good to either take a fresh look at them or take a look back at them and just see how much more you know now, how much more you understand, because we've come so far in our science journey together this year. So today we're going to start with day 2. And if you remember on Tuesday, we started remembering the states of water: solid, liquid, gas, how we can add or remove heat energy to the different states of water to cause them to change states. And we also remembered the certain temperatures that made those changes happen, which was the boiling point, the freezing point, and the melting point. So today we're going to remember the water cycle. Hopefully you were able to make your water cycle in your bowl at home. I've had so much fun watching mine. Shelby and little Elliot have been really excited to see the changes, and I hope you've seen changes too. Don't forget to text us pictures or videos or dojo them, or however your teacher prefers you to send them your work so that they can see what you've done at home. Okay, so let's get us thinking about the water cycle. If you remember, we started thinking way back in the fall about where does water come from? Where does it come from? Also, we talked about, does water ever disappear? Does it ever go away? Or is the water that's here on Earth now the same water that was here when the dinosaurs were on the Earth? Do you remember? Where does rain come from? We talked about that a lot. Hopefully we remember where rain comes from now. And hopefully you do remember the answers to some of these questions. All right, click to the mini lesson slide, the first mini lesson slide. And I was so excited to put this video back on here because we sang this a million times in class, and I thought you might have fun watching it again. So watch this video, pause me, watch that video, and then come back. Okay, hopefully now you're all in the mood thinking about water cycle after listening to that song. And on the next slide, you're going to see a picture of the water cycle. Hopefully you remember this when you see it. And just like with food webs and food chains, which we reviewed a couple weeks ago, the sun provides the heat energy that gets the whole water cycle going. All right, click to the next slide, and you'll see that the water cycle is a repeated cycle of Earth, or a repeated pattern of water changing forms on Earth. So this happens all the time, over and over and over again. And as we just looked at, the heat energy from the sun warms up all the bodies of water on Earth. When this happens and the water gets hot enough, the liquid water changes into a gas or a water vapor. That is called evaporation. So the water from Earth is heating up and little water vapors are starting to rise up into the atmosphere. All right, you can actually feel this in the summer when you walk outside and it just feels like sweaty and sticky immediately. That's kind of what this is like. Okay, click to your next slide. And if you remember what we reviewed on Tuesday, we remember that when water vapor or gas turns back into liquid, that is called condensation. And that happens in a way you might see when water vapor in the air hits the side of your cold glass of water or lemonade or milk or whatever you're drinking, and you get those little water bubbles on the side of your glass. That is condensation, okay? Now, what about in our atmosphere? When the water has evaporated and it goes up into the atmosphere and it gets really cold, what happens to it? Click to your next slide so we can remember that that is when water vapor in the atmosphere condenses. It's condensation in the top of the atmosphere, and those water vapor molecules turn back into liquid water, and they clump, 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 clump all together and form clouds, okay? Those are liquid water droplets that make up those clouds. Now, what happens next, on the next slide, there's 3 clips that we saw way back, but I thought they'd be fun to watch again, and they'll help you remember what the next step in the water cycle is. So go ahead and pause my video, listen to those quick clips, and then come right back to this video. Okay, so all of those clips showed us examples of precipitation. So we had evaporation, condensation, and now we're having precipitation. And those videos showed us the different forms of precipitation that we might experience throughout different seasons here on Earth, all right? Now, precipitation is when liquid water falls back from the clouds. The clouds get too heavy with water, and the rain or the hail or the snow comes back down to Earth, okay? Gravity pulls them down when they become too heavy and they fall through the atmosphere, okay? Now, I want you to think, can you think about what temperatures, we talked about this the other day, what temperature would cause a difference between rain or snow? See if you remember the temperatures. Okay, the next slide just gives you a little bit more review on the different types of precipitation. We have rain, which is liquid water. We have snow, which is water vapors that are frozen into ice crystals. We got to experience a little bit of that back in maybe January or February when we had a little bit of a snow on a Saturday. Sleet is a form of precipitation that has ice pellets that can be mixed with rain or snow, and hail are pellets of frozen rain which fall in rain showers. And this can happen when the weather is warm. You can still have hail coming down. Okay, on the last slide, it just summarizes everything we've talked about with the water cycle. We reviewed today that evaporation, condensation, and precipitation are the different parts of the water cycle. Hopefully, again, you were able to make your water cycle at home. If you didn't already, you can go ahead and do it now so that you can continue maybe observing that over the weekend and see those steps happening right in front of your eyes. Okay, so today you're going to do another practice activity on STEM scopes. And please let your teacher know if you have any questions. Don't forget to send us pictures of your water cycle, and we will see you soon. Great job this week, friends.